Okay, here we go. My first video. Hi, I'm Brian. This is me transitioning from being a therapist to more of an online public platform to share what I share with all my clients. And not only do I share it with my clients, it's what I do for myself every day. Hopefully I'm taking care of myself as often as I can, uh, and I have found it to be very beneficial. What I will share with you is just a form of mindfulness. I call it emotionally focused mindfulness. Um, so if you're ready, let's begin. You'll notice that I'm sitting up. If you'd like to find a place that's comfortable for you. If you want to sit up, you can sit up. If you want to lay down, you can lay down. That's fine. Just make sure you can breathe. So to begin with, 3 breaths. Get 3 good, complete inflations and deflations of the lungs. You want to feel the breath in the body up here. And then a good exhale, feeling the breath in the lungs, the solar plexus, and the belly. I like to close my eyes. You might like to close your eyes also. Again, turning your attention to the physical sensation of the breath in the body. Good exhale. And after that third intentional breath, go back to a natural, relaxed breath. You may notice it takes a couple breaths to get there. That's okay. And during this time, notice your thoughts. Just notice what's there. Maybe your mind is blank. And maybe you notice the things that you want to do. The to-do list. Whatever's there, just notice that. Come right back to the breath. Turn your attention to the solar plexus. That's that muscle right where the rib cage meets. And what you might notice is there's a subtle rise with the inhale and a subtle fall with the exhale. Next, if you like, you might want to imagine a stream in front of you, water flowing by. Just watching the water go by. And then if you like, whatever's on your mind, it can be like leaves that fall in the water. You throw them on the water, toss them on the water. You watch the leaves wash downstream. And then whenever you're ready, just come right back to the breath. Rising, falling. Next, take the attention of your mind to the top of your head. Right above the top of your head, the crown. And then from the top of your head, let your mind drop down into your skull, right in between the two hemispheres of your brain. Inside of your skull, it's dark. It's quiet. You might turn your attention to your forehead, your temples, your eyebrows, your eyelids, your eyeballs, your eye sockets. Notice the space right above your nose between your eyebrows. There's a muscle there that we sometimes tense up when we're thinking a lot. So if you're willing, go ahead and wrinkle the nose of the forehead and squeeze the eyes shut and tense the face muscles, and then let it relax. And just notice the difference between tensing and relaxing. From here, feeling the breath in the body. Good inhale, good exhale. Notice the jaw. If you like, maybe open and close the jaw a few times, once or twice, and notice the hinge by the ears. Notice if you grit your teeth. Let the jaw be loose. No effort required. Just notice the muscles in your body. Notice your mind. Physical sensations. Next, taking your attention back to that space right in between the two hemispheres of your brain. From here, feeling the breath in the sinuses, cooling the brain, going down the back of the throat. Scanning the sides of the head, the ears, the back of the head, down to the base of the skull, the spine, the sides of the neck, the throat. Feel free to make whatever gentle movements you like. Remember to be gentle. This is where we carry a lot of tension. You might like to turn the head gently. Just feel the muscles. Notice tension and relaxation. And feel the breath in the body. Good inhale, good exhale. Maybe shrug or gently roll the shoulders. Allow your arms to be comfortable at your sides. If you're at work, you can clock out for right now. You can go back to that. come right back to the breath. The solar plexus muscle rises with the inhale and falls with the exhale. With your mind scanning from the shoulders down the upper arms, down the biceps, the triceps, the elbows, down the forearms, the wrist, the hands, the fingers, the thumbs. Good inhale, good exhale. Maybe open and close the hands a few times and feel the muscles, feel the joints. Maybe tense and relax. Just be in the body. The arms and the hands are an extension of the heart and the chest area. Feeling the breath in the lungs. Feeling the heart, the heartbeat. And then from the shoulders again, scanning down the spine, the shoulder blades, the bones, the joints, the muscles. Each vertebra gets your attention. Taking your attention back to the breath. Allowing your body to be loose, comfortable. Not too loose and not too rigid. Don't try. You can try hard if you want, but you don't have to. At ease. From this space in the chest area, the heart, what we want to do is activate the left hemisphere. The way to activate the left hemisphere is to talk to yourself. Everybody talks to themselves. So, in order to access the left hemisphere of your brain, if you're willing, simply think to yourself, "Hello, self. Can I come in, please?" And just simply asking and acknowledging the self, you have permission. Accesses the left hemisphere of the brain. This is the logic side of the brain, the reason, the rationale. It's the thing that keeps track of your to-do list. Feel the breath in the body. Good exhale. Always focusing on the exhale. The exhale helps the nervous system to relax. Completely deflating the lungs. Allows adrenaline in the nervous system to be processed through and the nervous system to return to homeostasis. Next, you can access the right hemisphere of the brain. The right hemisphere of the brain is the imagination, the creativity. So it thinks in pictures, and in order to access the right hemisphere of the brain, I work with a metaphor of light, like sunlight, light and darkness, light and shadow. You see the lights behind me, lights everywhere, right? So, if you're willing, simply think to yourself, "Hello, light. please come into the body and do whatever you want. Now, the wording is important here. This is the most important phrase of all. Not what I want, what you want. Not my will, your will be done. This is like Christ in the garden praying just before he was arrested and going to be crucified, and he's sweating drops of blood. And he says, Father, if there's any way I don't have to die on that cross, let's do that. And then he adds on, but not what I want, your will be done. So, with that in mind, when you acknowledge the left hemisphere of your brain and think to yourself, for instance, my name is Brian, so I think, hi Brian, can I come in please? And he's like, sure man, you're awesome. And then I tell Brian, or myself, self, you're in control. I'm not. Let's do what you want. And the inner self is an inner child, every age you've ever been, from earlier today to very, very young. The right hemisphere, inviting that into the body, simply by saying, light, will you come in the body and do whatever you want, simply brings the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere together and focus in one place inside the body for a mind-body connection. If you're in your mind and you're thinking about your to-do list or anything else, you are outside of your body. If you notice that, you can very simply go, thinking. And then you might even say to yourself, I'd like to be here now. Then come right back to the breath. Good inhale, and more importantly, good exhale. The inhale happens naturally after a good exhale. Anxiety is similar to an asthma attack in that if you can remember to deflate the lungs, the lungs will naturally inflate, which is what you need. If you can't breathe and you pass out, you relax and you can finally breathe again. You're fine. So you manage your emotions and your nervous system and the amount of adrenaline in your nervous system with the out breath. Taking your attention back to the chest area, which is where we left off with the body scan, and acknowledging that we've accessed both the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere, the self and the light. Now, if you like, you might take your attention up to the top of your head and imagine a thin beam of light going from the top of your head through your skull, through your spine, to your tailbone. It's not important that you have a visual. It's enough for you to listen to my voice and be like, yeah, okay, I'll listen. If you get a visual, great. If not, no big deal. Come back to the breath. Falling with the exhale. Rising with the inhale. From that beam of light, at the top of your head and your tailbone, imagine the beam of light extending from the top of your head up into infinity, and the beam of light at your tailbone extending down into infinity. Next, taking your attention back to the chest and the heart area, you might imagine a beam of light from your chest area going out the left side of your body into infinity, and a beam of light going out the right side of your body into infinity, such that you have a vertical beam of light and a horizontal beam of light at an x-axis at or near your chest heart area. One more time, accessing that right hemisphere. Light, feel come in. Not my will, your will be done. Taking your attention back to that chest area, imagining that beam of light coming out of your chest area in front of you and extending out into infinity. And that beam of light extending out behind you into infinity, such that you have X, Y, Z axis of light in your chest area. And now that axis of light is locked in, and it is you. You are the light. Noticing your thoughts, pictures in your mind, images, words, nothingness, blankness, emotions, physical sensations. Coming back to the breath. At this point, whatever you notice in your mind, whether it seems like it's off topic, just notice that. Whatever is in your mind, let it be. It's there for a reason. If there's nothing there, let it be. It's there for a reason. Remember, you're off work. You clocked out. You're on break. It's okay to do nothing. By doing this, you're activating the body's natural healing mechanism, like the immune system. This is the emotionally focused aspect of this type of mindfulness. Emotions last about 90 seconds, or about 4 or 5 breaths. You might get a double dose that lasts about 3 minutes, or 8 to 10 breaths. Any emotion you have that lasts more than 3 minutes means you're stuck in that emotion. It can be a pleasant emotion or an unpleasant emotion, but there's some aspect of prolonging and hanging on to and becoming attached to that particular experience. That's okay. Just notice that. Come right back to the breath, the solar plexus. It falls with the exhale. It rises with the inhale. Whatever you notice in your mind, body, and emotions, this is your mind, body, and emotions speaking to you. Feel the breath in the body, rising, falling. One more time, taking the attention back to that heart chest area. And continuing to scan down the body, in the back, down the mid-back, the vertebra, the ribs, the muscles, the expansion with the inhale and the relaxation with the exhale. Down to the solar plexus, the stomach, the intestines, the belly, the sides of the torso, down the low back, the tailbone, the pelvic bone, the groin, the lower abdomen, the hip joints, the sit bones, and feeling the weight of your body in your seat, where it comes into contact with your furniture. Feeling the breath in the body. Feeling the whole spine. Feeling the spine balanced above the pelvic bone if you're sitting. The head balanced on the neck. Good inhale, good exhale. One more time. Activating that right hemisphere light feel come in. Not my will, your will. Noticing the mind, the thoughts. If you have a lot of memories that come up, let those pass through. Notice the theme. It's your inner self reminding you of these memories. It's your younger self telling you their story. When you ask the younger self, the inner self, hi, can I come in? You're in control. And then you have memories. The younger self says, yeah, let me tell you about it. Try not to get attached to those memories. Let them pass through. There might be a lot. Notice the emotion. Good inhale. Good exhale. Emotions build in intensity like waves on the ocean. They come in, they crash on the shore, and they dissipate. The next wave of emotion builds, crashes on the shore, and it dissipates. Just feel the breath. There's no work to do here. You might come to a particular memory. Notice that. If you do, when you do, you might notice a younger version of yourself. If you like, and if you're willing, imagine putting your current self in with your younger self, such that there's two people in this image or memory in your mind. Two of you, the you of you today and the previous you, or younger you. And think to yourself, light if you'll come in and do whatever you want. And when you find yourself in that image or memory with yourself, go ahead and approach yourself. You might make eye contact, Put a hand on the shoulder, put your arm around yourself. You might give yourself a hug. If it's scary, you might pick yourself up and leave. You might tell your person who's there to go away. Punch them in the face. Do whatever you want. It's your mind, your imagination. You're in control. And the light does all the work. Light, come in, do whatever you want. Not my will. Your will, be done. Feel the breath rising, falling. Taking your attention back to your sit bones and continuing the body scan down the back of the thighs, the front of the thighs, the inner thighs, the outer thighs, all the way around down to the kneecaps, around both sides of the knees, to the backs of the knees, down the calves, down the shins, down the sides of the legs, all the way around to the ankles, to the tops of the feet, around to the heels, the inner arches, the outer ridges, the balls of the feet, out to the toes. And feel free to wiggle the toes if you like. You might tense the toes and relax them like we've done with the other muscle groups. You might spread them out. Sending that next breath all the way down the legs to the bottoms of the feet, out to the toes, and all the way back up again. Feeling the breath throughout the whole body. Notice you can have a beverage. You can be at ease. At this point, notice your mind. It should be fairly simple to be at ease. You might notice the present moment. You might notice how often you get to spend time in the present moment. This is tea, by the way, in case you're wondering. Black tea, green tea, nothing special. Come back to the breath. Notice there's nothing to do here. One more time, you can acknowledge the inner self. Hello, inner self, you're in control. Light, you come in, do whatever you want. When you come across unpleasant memories or things you think you might want to avoid, notice the emotion only lasts about 90 seconds to 3 minutes. Most of them are 90 seconds, 4 or 5 breaths. It's the really important ones, the strong ones, the ones that are there saying, hey, this is important, pay attention, it matters. The whole goal here is to feel and experience your emotions completely such that your body can process it and let it go. Once you let it go, once you process that memory, you're done with that memory. You're always going to find yourself coming to a place of powerlessness. If you find yourself feeling numb or resistant or anything like that, that's an indicator that you have to ask permission again. Acknowledge your inner self. Hi, inner self. Can I come in again? You don't have to say again. Light, will you come in? And then just breathe and be patient with yourself. Powerlessness sounds like, yeah, but I tried that, or I don't know what to do here. Great. Notice not knowing what to do. Out of ideas. Powerlessness. This is where light, if you'll come in and do whatever you want to do. Not my will, your will be done. And just notice, powerlessness usually changes to curiosity. Just breathe. Light, keep coming in. Notice effortlessness. My timer says about 37 minutes now. When I work with my clients, I usually work about 45, 50 minutes. And this is what we do. And then just ask them to go home and practice the same thing. 3 breaths. Focusing on the exhale, rising, falling. Turning the attention to the physical sensation of the breath in the body. Turning your attention to the space above the head, and then allowing your attention to drop from the top of the head down in between the 2 hemispheres of the brain. Following the spine down, the brainstem, the base of the skull, the neck, the shoulders, down the arms, the upper chest, the heart, the back, solar plexus, mid-back, stomach, low back, tailbone, pelvic bone, groin, down the legs, feet, toes. Acknowledging the inner self, being kind to the self. Hi self, can I come in? You're in control, not me. Activating the right hemisphere. Light, will you come in to the body and do whatever you want? Not my will, your will be done. Noticing the mind, the body, and the emotions. Following that thread of the emotion. Emotionally focused mindfulness. If at this point you have your eyes closed, please open them. Come back to your space. Feel your hands. Feel your jaw. Are you tensing? Feel your neck. Feel your shoulders. Feel your arms. Feel your hip joints, your knees, your feet. Maybe look at the wall, look at the floor. Feel your furniture. If you're looking at a window, you can look outside. Found something you can play with it. We can acknowledge the inner self. We can say, inner self, I'd like to be in a pleasant place and like a pleasant memory, please. The light shall come in, do whatever you want. Just notice where your mind goes. Maybe pleasant for you is blank and nothing. Your first thought is always your best thought. Just notice. Be still. Breathe. Effortlessness. If you're trying, you're still trying too hard. I hope this was helpful for you. I'll be posting more. If you'd like to join, there's a $10 membership fee for the C tier. And I'll be posting more information like this, more guided meditations, as well as more in-depth teaching. Thank you. Namaste. Peace.